Welcome all to a new video. Let's have a look at Rivn stock. Rivn's one of those very interesting companies where in the past 6 months the stock price is green by about 14%. However, when we look a bit closer, the stock is down quite significantly from its highs, over 40% to be precise. And when we look at what the stock's seen in the past month, in the past 5 days, and even in the past trading day, we're on a bit of a rocky position with Rivn stock. The question is, where do we go from here? Let's have a discussion about that in this video and give my personal estimations as to what I think we could be seeing with this stock in the near future. So we'll start off by looking at the past day. Now, on Friday, Rivn stock was actually green, which is a good sign. However, it was only by 0.46%, so not exactly too much of a reassuring figure. Now, the majority of the trading day was quite flat. We saw a bit of a jump in the morning, followed by a drop, and then we just started to level out, and the same is true for the after hours. However, that's not what I find the most interesting about this stock. What I find more interesting is arguably the 5-day chart and the past month or so chart. Now, in the past 5 days, we are seeing that drop trend continue. We saw highs which looked quite promising at about 1858, and again, this was actually the start of a run-up between the 7th and 8th of November, but it was short-lived, and the 6% gain that we secured actually quickly disappeared, and the stock went even lower. Right now, it looks like the stock may be starting to stabilise at its current price, but the past month shows a very interesting trend. The question is, will this be the bottom for Rivn stock now, or could we see the stock go even lower? And what do I expect to happen? So, first things first, we're going to need to come out here to the more technical chart. And I want to have a look here on probably the 1 minute. Now, what I would say with this stock is, when we look on the 1 minute chart, there's a few things that stand out immediately. The first one is that we saw a little bit of recovery around the point of 1538. I want to see in the next week if this stands out and if it holds up, as we have seen this point in the past actually hold up once before here, where it worked as a support line. If we are not able to hold that line, I'd probably be looking for a line between the range of 1522 and 1520, as that has held up in the past. And again, it's not looking like, well, it's going to be impossible because we've already gone below it, to hold on to the previous lines like, the 1544 range, which held up for a bit in late Friday. But when we zoom out a bit further, let's say to the 30-minute chart, you're going to be seeing a wider trend here. And, this little recovery is not really too much of a reassuring sign as of yet, and I wouldn't exactly call this little uptick that we had late on Friday a sign for a recovery for the stock. So Rivn is one of those stocks where, yes, we are probably closer to the bottom than the top, in the sense that, the stock is down massively from its highs, but I don't necessarily think that means it's a good time to buy it right now. I would be looking at this one in the past week, and I would definitely reassess this one mid to late next week. That is sometimes the case with these stocks, Just because we're seeing a drop doesn't necessarily mean now's a good time to get in. I mean, it's one of those stocks where, yes, you could make the argument that there is more potential gain than there is loss, but with the wider trend being the way it is, I think if we were to go lower, it may not be by all too much. However, the potential for gain, I just don't see that being massive in the next week or so. So I'd personally wait out on this stock just to see where we go. But I'd be looking for those levels to hold up again. If we can't hold above the ultimate range of 15, because again, that is a point where we've been near. We've bounced off that range around that point several times. If we can't hold 15, I'd argue things are looking quite bad, and we could then be on to even lower levels. But 15 is going to be the key bottom line, the absolute bottom of what I'd like to see this week. But we'll see how things play out. Anyway, that's my opinion on this stock for this week, or for today at least. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.